What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, so I'm here on the Peak Monsters dashboard, and I wanted to share with you a couple of really interesting insights. Now, they're interesting because they are not good. They are not good signs. Well, one of them is decent. We are seeing this average daily player count kind of stay somewhat even, right? So we've been kind of in this 300 to 400,000, or I should say like maybe 375 to 400,000 range on our daily active players. And that's still up from 6 months ago. You can see we had this big rise overall. But going with this rise, now looking at the new players that we have, in the blue here you have signups. So this is people who just sign up for an account. They didn't buy a spell book, but they just created an account, and have started exploring the game. And the red line here is spell book purchases. So you can see a lot of activity here happening in September, October, and then boom, starting November, we hit a high with Bitcoin in November of last year. And since then, we've been in a downtrend, and that has really trickled down into the rest of the market, where all alts, all like altcoins, are getting brutally destroyed. But as you can see here, and I don't know what this outlier was, but it's totally throwing everything off in terms of the scale of this graph. You can see we were selling, in the thousands of spell books at the height of the mania and euphoria. Once Chaos Legion was announced and leading up to the pre-sale. Then after that, we started slowly trickling down, and you can see it might be hard to see the numbers because everything's really small here, but we were down in 1,000, and then we've been kind of ranging in 1,000 over the month of December. And since December, or I should say since the beginning of the year, we've been under 1,500. And just yesterday, let me go ahead and take the scale down to just the last month. Just yesterday, at least in recent memory, unless there was another day here, this is the first time that I have seen us actually go below 100 spellbooks purchased in a day. So as of March 7th, we had 85. We've had a couple other days kind of ranging around the 100, but yesterday was the first day that we saw 85. So here's the thing. You know me, you know this channel. I try to keep it real. There's no hopium here. There's just hopefully realism. This is not a good sign. So this is actually a really bad sign, because especially with all of the marketing efforts that are going on, all of the promo cards, just all the hype and everything, there is just a lack of new player interest. Now, the good news about this, the good thing, or the way that the silver lining in a sense, is the fact that I don't believe Splinterlands is the only game suffering from this. There is a general downtrend in the overall market, and that is just sucking so much liquidity out. It's sucking a lot of interest out. Obviously, within the game itself, as DEC goes down in value, the earnings go down significantly in value. We not only get less DEC issued per day in rewards, but that DEC is also worth less per token. So it's not surprising to me that we've had such a crazy downturn, and now are kind of just like literally sputtering out, and hopefully we don't come to a complete stop. But there is some good news on the horizon, and we do have the next town hall coming up soon, and I hope we get some information on these. But the two things, and I can't say with any kind of certainty, and actually if I'm honest with you, I don't know that they would necessarily save things, but the two things, one would be the rewards economy. That's actually the one that I think could save, not save Splinterlands, but could reignite some fire in the player base, and also bringing in new people. So there has been talk about a major update coming to the rewards economy. Obviously, we already had a small preview of that, or at least the first phase of it, which was adding the Chaos Legion packs in, and showing how those are tiered so that you get increased chances of getting those rewards at higher levels in leagues, or higher rating in leagues. And so that, that could potentially be something that that does, a lot for new players and makes, adds a lot of incentive for those that are playing in bronze and silver rather than kind of what we have right now. If you're playing in bronze, it sucks to get like one chest and then come out with like 2 credits. That has happened to me. So I've been in bronze, worked my ass off getting, whatever the daily quest was. And then I opened the chest and it's like 2 credits and it's like, just didn't feel worth the time. Right. So I can fully understand that. And I think the team fully understands that too. And is trying to therefore incentivize people to, not incentivize, but redo the game economy, and the rewards economy. Now, the other part of this is the modern and wild format. Now, this thing has been delayed like 4 months now at this point. I think we were expecting it with the launch of Chaos Legion in December. Obviously, now we're already in March and it's still not here yet. So I am hoping, and I know that the last update that we heard from the team was they are going to try and get it out in Q1. Q1 is, the end of Q1 is the end of March, right? So if we can hopefully get some good news on that, it'd be great if we were able to have that out within the next couple of weeks. Now, for modern and wild format, I don't know that it's going to necessarily ignite a new player base to come in, but at least for the existing players right now, myself included, even though I'm playing in gold, when I get matched up against a lot of these older cards, of which there's like not many around and they cost thousands of dollars per BCX, I'm just like, yeah, there's like no chance for me as a newer player to like compete with that. So leaderboards are out for me. A lot of the other, leaderboards are out. Like just the higher levels and leagues are much more difficult. And I still enjoy it because, when I can get a win, it's awesome. But, most of the time I'm just shaking my head in frustration. And so therefore I have been looking forward to modern format for a long time. And I really, really hope that we can get it. I hope that we can get it soon because I think any kind of major update to the game will reignite some fire, put some excitement back in, and just get people pumped about what's happening and what's going on with the game, right? Like we had Chaos Legion in January. That was great because, I don't know in terms of new players brought in, but for all the players that have been around for a while that didn't want to buy cards, like the older cards, now they had a chance to go and buy some cards and level up their deck. And for me, I was able to do that and get into gold. For many other folks, they were able to get into high levels of silver. So that to me, and then in February we had Waka Spirit Blade, right? So, and then even with Waka Spirit Blade, that was really, like I said, that was more whale food than it was for the rest of the player base. There's only 1,000 and it cost way too much. And, I think the verdict is still out on whether or not the card is OP, but it seems as though the hype around it has died down a little bit, which is to be expected. I'm not saying that it's a bad card. I'm just saying that it's out and done now. I know we have the second part of the sale coming up soon. So, I'm sure I'll actually be curious to see how quickly that one sells out on Wax. But I'm sorry, not on Wax, on Atomic Hub. But yeah, that's just kind of where things are at right now. It's I'm just trying to be realistic with you guys on this channel. What I'm seeing, I want to share with you, give you some insight on it, or at least my perspective. Because again, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just use this as a way to continue the conversation and get a feel for how the rest of the community is doing. And interestingly enough, we were covering this in my live stream today. So I should mention again that even though I do stream on Twitch, and I always plug that at the beginning, I actually stream on YouTube on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday mornings, US time. So on the live stream today, someone was like, is Splinterlands dead or is it dying? And I have to give a very emphatic no to that, right? Like I probably just gave you a bunch of bad news here just looking at all these metrics. But the truth of the matter is that Splinterlands is not dead. It is not dying. And if anything, I have never been more confident in this game and the team, because seeing the inner workings, seeing how, all the stuff that they share with us on the town halls and, the different infrastructure that they've put in, where, Hardpoint coming in as, I believe, CTO, Matt now focusing on the product. We get to see a lot more creative. We get to see how the development teams are being placed. Like, this to me is incredibly bullish. Like, this is not just some like fly by night, or, shady crypto game. This is a game that's been around for a while, and this is a legitimate company that is creating something awesome, right? And they have created something awesome. To me, this is still the best game that I have found out there. There's nothing that really tops it in terms of like something that I can be addicted to. Like I literally get addicted to playing because I enjoy the challenge. It's just like mini little chess matches instead of, idle clickers or whatever the case is. And I'm not trying to throw shade on idle clickers, but I'm saying, since the beginning, like Splinterlands and the complexity behind the game is what draws me in. And I know that's what draws a lot of the other players who have either been around for a while or are new and are obsessed like me. So no, Splinterlands is not dying. I am very, very bullish on it. Obviously, for those who have like been hyped since September of last year, thinking we were going to get all these new features and land and everything, like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's disappointing that we are not, that things have been delayed and continue to be delayed. But at the end of the day, the team has delivered, not in, the time frame that maybe they were anticipating or hoping to. And again, to their credit, I appreciate the fact that they're so open with us on the town halls. They do this every single week and they just try to share with us. And a lot of times it's just either spitballing ideas or it is, like, hey, here's like a cool thing that we're working on and we would love to get it out as soon as possible. Right. And then, they give some kind of time frame and everybody jumps on it. Right. Like I'm guilty of that too. Like as soon as they said, once Chaos Legion is out, we're going to introduce modern and wild format. I was like, that would be awesome. And I was expecting it back in December, but here we are still talking about it, not yet out in March of the following year. So again, like I said, I am incredibly bullish on this game. I don't want what I'm sharing with you today to make you think otherwise, but I do think it's important that we discuss where the player base is, where the community is, where the growth is at, and at least have a good look at where things currently stand, because too many people that I know, and myself included in the past, just get caught up in the hype and hopium, and this is. It's weird. I'm going to share something completely random here, but a lot of the other like coins that I buy, sometimes I'll go in on like the subreddits or in the different communities. And these are not necessarily gaming coins, but I go in there and it's just like one little piece of news and it's all Moon Boys. Like it's literally just all Moon Boys being like, oh, this is great. Like this is, whatever, like, we're going to hit a dollar or like $1 million, whatever soon. And it's just like, no, there's some good news, but you're not really taking into account everything that is going on within the broader global macroeconomy as well as the microeconomy that exists within and around Splinterlands. So, as it stands, I think it's good that we call out these numbers. I think I'm sure the team is very much aware of this, and this is why they're working on all of the rewards updates that they're working on. But just wanted to give a little bit of a sobering message today that, there's not a lot of new players coming in at this point in time. And over the past, even just month looking at this, we've the highest amount of days that we had was 404. So over the past, this month, there was 4,000 new spell books purchased. Let's see. Yep. So over the past month, we were at 4,000, which is crazy because over the past 3 months, we were at 40,000. So this last month is only 10% of the last 3 months combined. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you guys. This, again, like I said, I'm incredibly bullish, but just want to be able to share some of the not so great things that are happening right now. And hopefully, my goal with this is not to try and throw shade at Splinterlands, right? That's never what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be realistic about where we are currently at and what we can expect more so, right? Because if this is something that continues, even with the rewards updates and, modern wild format and land and all these things, if this continues, then, it's one of those things where I think there should be some concern, or at least it should be addressed head on. Not necessarily by the team is what I'm saying, but like we should be thinking about this and not questioning, like, I'm not trying to say like question your investment in Splinterlands, but I am trying to say like, just take everything into account. Like literally that's it. Just take everything into account. Be aware of what's going on in a place where you're putting both your money, your time and attention, as Dwayne says, right? So, yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully nobody's like leaving this video sad and quitting Splinterlands. If you are, I'll buy your cards. But really what you should be doing if you're planning on taking a break, like I said in the burnout video, is just rent out your cards. And you know what? Come back in 3 years and you'll magically be a Splinterlands whale. And then you can make a video about it on YouTube like Matt, like Matt Monarch did. So, that's just what it comes down to. I believe in the long-term value of the game and the assets within the game. But just wanted to share some of these sobering numbers with you on where we're at. So hopefully we are in the kind of just bottom of this. And, as I've been saying, this is the perfect time to accumulate, and you don't need to put more money into accumulate. All you got to do is just show up and do your daily quests or rent out your cards, earn something and buy more cards, right? Earn some DEC, buy more cards, level up your deck, play the tournaments. There's a lot of opportunity still within here. So I'll leave you with that little positive note and with that. So have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video. I will see you around the game. Take care.